What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Infernal. I don't know if I'm your boy yet, but I aim to be. And you are watching or listening to the first ever episode of the Infernal Gaming Podcast with your host, Infernal. You can follow me on Twitter at Infernal. You can follow me on Twitch at BlazedXinferno. And you can follow me on YouTube at Infernal. All of that will be in the description for this podcast video, wherever you're listening to this at. And I would like to, once again, welcome you to the Infernal Gaming Podcast. Now, what is the Infernal Gaming Podcast? Basically, I've had this idea for a long time ago that I was going to sit in front of a camera or a microphone or whatever the case may be and just talk about gaming, music, TV, movies, everything pop culture basically, and just kind of engage and create a community of people where we could take this to YouTube, or we could take this to Twitch, we could take the conversation anywhere. You know, I'm hopefully you'll be listening to this on 3 DSPs, YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. I'm going to find a way. The day I'm recording this is May 26, 2021. And yeah, man, this is a long time coming, man. This is an idea I've had for a very long time. And I'm just happy that I finally got to it, man. It took me just getting the equipment, getting everything together to be able to just even make this whole thing possible. And I'm just happy that I actually got to this point to do this. Now, we got some news today. We got all types of different news, things we could talk about, and as such. But we're going to start it off, because this is, of course, a gaming podcast, with a quick disclaimer. A quick disclaimer for you guys moving forward. I'm a console gamer, not a PC gamer, not really a mobile gamer, so I can't tell you anything that's going on Steam, even though I will include, Steam sales and stuff like that in my podcast. But for the most part, I can't tell you about anything about Tarkov. I can't tell you about none of that. I just picked up an Oculus Quest 2 a couple days ago, so I have a VR console, but I have PS4, Xbox Series S, and a Nintendo Switch. So I can tell you about all of that, and we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk some PC stuff, maybe a little bit of mobile gaming. Not really, because I really can't get into that. But I'm going to start this podcast off because, like I said, it is a gaming podcast. We're going to talk about what I've been playing lately. Now, first, another disclaimer I should tell you is I play a little bit of everything, man. I play everything except for maybe like racing games. I try to touch them every once in a while, like if I get a chance to. But I'm more of a RPG, first-person shooter type guy. So, you NBA 2K motherfuckers, man, this might not be the podcast for you. I'm going to have co-hosts eventually on this show that can talk about PC things, your 2K things, your Madden things, your FIFA things, all of that. But you hear me on this mic, man. If anything, we might do a little roasting about 2K or Madden, you know what I mean, over here. But get into it. What have I been playing, man? I've been playing Resident Evil Village. I just beat that, and we're gonna get to that literally right after this section. Yeah, I just finished that game. I got the Mass Effect collection, of course. I think that's amazing. Mass Effect 1 remastered looks amazing. Even on base PS4, I'm playing both of these two games on PS4. I've been playing Rust Console Edition. You probably would all know this if you check my Twitch out at BlazedXinferno. Yeah, I mean, go help a brother out over there. But yeah, I've been playing a little bit of just a little bit of everything over there, man. And what else have I been playing? Of course, I've gotten back into Apex. Like I said, if you watch my Twitch, you would know. Playing a little bit of Apex, a little bit of Warzone. That's never changed. Call of Duty, that's never changed. But right now, I'm trying to get back into the Mass Effect collection. I took some time off to try to beat Resident Evil 8 before I made this podcast, so we have something to talk about. I can do a little review, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people want to know. If you didn't know, I'm a big Resident Evil fan, and we get to that part of the podcast, man. But yeah, I've been playing that, a little bit of Monster Hunter Rise. The only thing I play on Xbox, because Xbox ain't got no goddamn games, is the Master Chief Collection. That's essentially what I bought it for. I call that thing the Halo box, because that's all I play is the Master Chief Collection. I play Halo 5, Halo Wars. It's the Halo box, man. They ain't got no games over there, man. But I'm having fun playing through, all the Halo games. Got a newfound love for a few games that I really wasn't feeling when I was younger, but I can appreciate now that I'm older. But yeah, man, that's what I've been playing. On the music side of the podcast, another disclaimer, I listen to a lot of everything. Believe it or not, a lot of people say, "Oh, you just kind of listen to one genre of music." I listen to a lot of things, man. So don't listen to the haters. I mean, I listen to a lot of different things. Damn, where's my phone at? So I can tell you guys exactly what I've been listening to without having to just guess. I've been listening to, obviously, J. Cole's album. You know what I mean? That was first. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I feel like hype kills things for me, because when I give in the hype, or when a community gives in the hype, I kind of just, I don't know. I'm not hype with y'all. Or I try not to be hype with y'all. But I was very hyped for this album, and I feel like people, the album's only 40 minutes. So at 12:40, you go on Twitter, everybody's talking about, oh, this is best album, this is that. You listen to it one time and you automatically have that. I feel like classic albums, there's only like 4 albums or 5 albums that's ever came out of all time that was an instant classic, the first listen. We ain't gonna get into that. But there's only 5 albums that did that. And this album ain't it. I had to actually listen to this album about 8 times before I actually got to the consensus that it's a very good project. Damn near perfect project. I wish it was just a little bit longer. I feel like with J. Cole, man, we owed that, man. We need like 16 songs from him. We can't do 12, because you don't drop an album every year or two, you know what I mean? But I can appreciate it for what it is, you know what I mean? I've been listening to Georgia Smith's album, Be Right Back. That thing is popping. You know what I mean? I'm gonna listen to that a little bit more before I come to the consensus of it being like, I don't know. I don't know yet. Like Georgia Smith, this is her second project. I don't even know if she's calling this an album. It's like 8 songs or something like that. Let me see. It's 8 songs. I like it a lot better than her first project, I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? I like it a lot better than that. I listened to Moneybagg Yo's album. I wasn't really feeling that too much. There's like 1 or 2 songs on there that I was like, all right, you know what I mean? I'm gonna put this on my phone. I listened to Olivia Rodrigo, girl. I listened to her album Sour. Cause she gave me industry plant vibes from the rip. The girl can sing though. The girl can sing. Won't take that from her. I heard that Driver's License song. That shit was jumping. I was like, damn. You know what I mean? This sorry about that. I drank some water, man. My voice getting a little crazy. But yeah, I heard that song. I'm like, man, this girl can really sing, but this feels like a one-hit wonder type song. Is that all for me? No. I'm 28 years old. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm not really feeling the struggle of an 18-year-old girl. You know what I mean? Living in the suburbs and shit like that. I listened to DJ Khaled's album, Khaled. There's a couple bangers on there. Her ran that joint. Joint is Philly slang for, it's a noun, a person, place, thing. So anything could be a noun, by the way. So you could be a noun. My phone can be, I'm sorry. You could be a joint. My phone could be a joint. My job could be a joint. Everything could be a joint. So that's to get that out the way. I'm going to say that a lot. Because I'm from Philly. But yeah, her ran Khaled's album. Nas and Jay-Z, they killed that one song. Lil Baby and Dirt, man, I can't wait for their album to come out. What else I've been listening to, man? I listened to Trust the Sopranos. I don't know if you guys heard of them. I've been big on them right now. Benny the Butcher, Griselda. I've been big on them lately, man. Like, I listened to Burn the Proof that came out last October, and I've been a fan ever since. Like, that's all that plays in my phone is Conway the Machine, Benny the Butcher, West Side Gun, all of that. Listen, go do yourself a favor. Go listen to Burn the Proof. Go listen to Plugs I Met 2. And listen to the first one, too. And then Conway's got an album. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Let me search it. Conway the Machine. His album that I listened to is La Machina. That was a really good album. And he's got an album called From King to a God. It came out in 2020. Fire, dog. Go listen to them Jones, man. Go listen to them old heads, man. Old heads running it. And I listen to Slime Language, too. Slime Language, you know, this Young Thug. That's that bubblegum rap, as the old heads would call it. But shit's fire, man. Shit's fire. And that's all I've been listening to. Music kind of slow. The summer ain't hit yet. We waiting for Drake to drop. And that's about it over there. TV. Since this kind of the first episode, I kind of got to tell y'all what I've watched already. So you guys want to ask me, have you watched this? Have you watched that? Watched Invincible. I like that. That's pretty good. I watched WandaVision. That was really good. I watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That was amazing. In my point of view, that was amazing. I thought it was good. I thought it was like a good-ass movie, even though it was a TV show. A little disclaimer when it comes to TV shows. I don't like long TV shows. I like 40-minute to maybe almost an hour episodes, not 13 episodes in one season. I want to feel like I'm getting somewhere. So all of these 3 shows I just named, they clock in at almost an hour, and they're like 8 episodes a piece. I think WandaVision was like 6, maybe 8. No, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was 6. So, yeah, man, I watched that. I watched Godzilla. I didn't watch Mortal Kombat yet. That we in the movie section. And that's all I think I've watched recently. I can't think of any other movies off the top of my head. Didn't like Godzilla. That's like a movie like I feel like you take your kids to. You know, I'm a grown man. I ain't trying to listen to that, man. I ain't trying to watch that. But yeah, that sums it up for what I've been doing over here, man. Yeah, I mean, if you watch my Twitch streams, you know what I'm playing. You don't really know what I'm listening to. I think I might put a little Spotify playlist or like a Apple Music playlist together for you guys, so you can kind of listen to like, yo, what I'm vibing to right now. I'll probably put that up probably when this podcast comes out. But yeah, that's what I'm listening to, watching, playing, all that jazz. Let's get into the meat of this episode, man, because we don't got a lot to talk about. There's some news that actually came out today. We're going to talk about it a little bit, but really ain't got too much. It's just being the pilot episode, trying to get you guys engaged and all that jazz. So, Resident Evil 8 review. For my friends, I know y'all been waiting to hear what I got to say. I've been quiet about it. I've been very quiet about how I felt about the game. And some people approach me like, you know what I mean, like kind of scared, like, oh, I don't know, man. Hold on real quick, y'all, real quick. Trying to make sure my cat cool, y'all. This podcast is trash. Yeah, where was I at? Resident Evil 8 review. That's right. Y'all been waiting for it. Well, some of y'all been waiting for it. I'm going to tell you how I feel, right? As a Resident Evil fan, should you go buy this? Absolutely. If you haven't already, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. If you're not a fan of Resident Evil, should you buy it? Yeah. Yeah. I think it's I like it a lot, man. I like it a lot, dog. Like I want to play through. It actually makes me like Resident Evil 7 more. Because not saying I didn't like Resident Evil 7, but 7 was like a strong 6 to a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. You know what I mean? I felt like if you didn't play it in VR, it probably wasn't that good of a game. I didn't play it in VR. I didn't like the movement for that game. The only thing that was really good about Resident Evil 7 that 8 kind of lacked, you know what I mean? By the way, this is a spoiler-free review. I feel as though Resident Evil 7's setting is like far more scary. And I think that's the point. You know, I heard articles saying that they tried to make this game not scary on purpose. You know what I mean? To not scare anybody or whatever the case may be. I mean, it's a Resident Evil game. It should scare people. But you know how it is, man. I don't know how true that is, but Resident Evil 8 is still scary in its own way. Is Resident Evil 7 scary? Fuck no. Resident Evil 7 had me put the game down several times because I'm like, look, I can't do it. Can't do it. There's certain parts of that game, it was like, what the fuck, man? You know what I mean? But I'm gonna give you some pros and some cons, and then I'll give you like, you know, a score, or try to give you a score. Pros. Like I said in the beginning of the podcast, I played this on a base PS4. Not a Pro, not a Slim, a 2014 PS4. Alright? Game looked phenomenal, dog. Phenomenal. It looked great. Alright? Now that's cyberpunk bullshit over here. You know what I mean? It looked amazing. Game actually looked damn near like what I watched the people on stream or on Twitch, what it looks like on PC or, you know, Ps5, whatever. I could tell a small difference, but it looked very good. And that's a pro. Because, you know, for it to run, and it's very well optimized on PS4. I had no crashes. I had no problems. I had no glitches. When sometimes I wish enemies would have glitched. You know what I mean? I had no glitches. Con number 2. The movement. Like I said, Resident Evil 7 had like, because it was built for VR, it had this weird movement to it. And I just didn't like it. Ethan felt slow. He felt weighted. And it just, I didn't like it. This game, man, like, Ethan be booking it. He be sprinting. It's easier to kind of maneuver around enemies and stuff like that. I found myself running through a lot of portions of the game without even fighting enemies. I probably missed out on 1,000 treasures and items and stuff like that. But by the end of the game, I was stacked. It didn't even matter. You know what I mean? It didn't even matter that I didn't loot every area or anything like that. You know, I kind of played it like a classic Resident Evil game. You know, conserve ammo, run past the enemies, and wait until you actually need to kill things. So I felt like the movement was a lot better. 3. This is a pro. Even though Resident Evil 7's setting was far more scary, Resident Evil 8 has a beautiful setting, eerie in certain points of the game. I think the game overall, in my opinion, is just setting wise, visually, everything is gorgeous. Sound design is alright. In Resident Evil 7, I felt like it was easier to do the sound design because you're in a house. You know what I mean? Like, you know, floor is going to creak above you, things like that. It was easy to manipulate and make those sounds. And that's what made a lot of Resident Evil 7 scary. They did the same thing with 8 and certain portions of the game you're outside. You know what I mean? But like, you know, you'll hear like some like a door banging or something like that in a distant house. and it sounds phenomenal. So like I said, setting, sound design, those are 2 pros right there. Awesome. Runtime. I should talk about the runtime here. This is a pro for me. The runtime is decent for a Resident Evil game. I think I clocked in almost 8 hours. It was like 7 hours and 58 minutes. And I did a fair bit of exploring. I didn't do a lot of the treasures, but I did a fair bit of exploring. Like, I felt like if it was in my path, sure, why not? But I really didn't go out of my way. Saving that for a second playthrough. And that should be pro number. The next pro. The story was very good, man. I liked, again, spoiler-free review. It actually made Resident Evil 7 and events that happened in Resident Evil 7 make sense. And where I felt like one of the things I didn't like about Resident Evil 7 was it didn't feel like a Resident Evil game, man. It felt like PT. Come on, be honest, man. Resident Evil 7 felt like PT. So Resident Evil 8 kind of, it's a continuation of 7. It kind of tied Resident Evil 7 into the Resident Evil world and the lore a lot better. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot. And like I said, it made me want to actually go back and play Resident Evil 7. Not even a spoiler, but at the end of the game, you're going to be in a room and there's going to be a lot of things to look at. Make sure you look at everything and read everything. Piece things together, because your mind's going to be like, holy fuck, like, this is crazy. To me, that was crazy. You know what I mean? Just the little pieces, everything making sense. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Some cons. Damn, some cons. I can't even think of any cons, man. It's hard, man. This may be a pet peeve. I kind of wish the game wasn't in first person. But then again, first person makes it more scary to me. I think third person wouldn't, but I don't know. These first person Resident Evil games are kind of weird, especially since this game has no VR. So it's like, what the hell? But maybe they're doing that at a later date. Who knows? There's no PS5 VR yet. I don't think the PlayStation 4 VR is compatible with the PlayStation 5. So maybe they're saving that for a later date, man. I don't know. But I don't really got too many cons, man. It's more like pet peeve shit. You know what I mean? Just like, I wish the game was a little more scary at some certain points. The game relies heavily on like jump scares instead of like kind of just being scary a lot of the times. And like I said, that's just a pet peeve, man. Like, this game is far from perfect. Far from perfect. I gotta play it a little more, do a couple run throughs, stuff like that. But listen, man. A1 enjoyed it. My final score, 9 out of 10. Maybe a 9.5 at the highest, man. The game's almost perfect, dog. We haven't had a Resident Evil game, in my opinion, like that in a long time, dog. Like Resident Evil 7, it just didn't feel like a Resident Evil game enough for me to enjoy it in that way. I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it in the way that I enjoy like Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 2, even Resident Evil 1. I mean, notice I skipped over 5 and 6. I enjoy 5 when I'm playing with friends or something like that. 5's cool. 6 is what the fuck. And, I'm a big Resident Evil fan. 6 was, they just jumped off. They jumped off with that. So, final score for Resident Evil 8. That's going to be a strong 9.2 out of 10. We're going to give it that. 9.2 out of 10. I want to do a Mass Effect review, but honestly, I'm still on Mass Effect 1 because I'm taking my time. And I can just give, the brief of it. I love what they did with Mass Effect 1, man. It feels like Mass Effect 3, which to me, Mass Effect 2 is the best of the series, but Mass Effect 3 has kind of like the best movement and controls and stuff like that. So it felt a lot better. But still going through the game. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time, and hopefully in a later date I can give you a review of the full package. I didn't know some glitches I felt like I didn't notice back in 2008 when I played the first Mass Effect game. And I think that's because of the new teammate system, because they took the teammate system from Mass Effect 2 and 3. So it was just one of those things where it was like, you know what I mean, you couldn't control your teammates in Mass Effect 1. So there's that. And that's all I can really tell you about that, man. That's really all I can tell you. Those are my reviews. Now we're going to move on to the next part of the podcast. I'm just going to give you some gaming-related news. Today, that was today, wasn't it? That was today. Both Pokemon Shining Diamond and whatever that game, I don't know, look it up. What are those two games called? It was Diamond and Brilliant Pearl were both, we got a release date. It is coming out November 19th. I know I'm 28 years old, but Pokemon is something I grew up with, and I will be playing this shit because it's Gen 4, and that was the best. As a kid, I put over 1,000 hours into it easily, so I'm definitely gonna buy this day one. Probably gonna get Brilliant Diamond, because I had Diamond back in the day. So I'm gonna get that, get my man Empoleon and run that joint. And then the other Pokemon game got announced, the Arceus. I think that comes out November 22nd. Arceus video game. That comes out, oh, my fault, January 28th, 2022. I don't know how to feel about this, man. They got to announce a Switch Pro. That first trailer for that game was wasn't good, man. And I don't think what they're trying to scope that they're trying to do for this game, like a fully open world adventure, Breath of the Wild Pokemon game, I don't think it's going to run that good, man. You're going to have like 3 Pokemon at a time on screen. That was already like fucking annoying with Sword and Shield, so I'm going to keep it real. I'm not that hyped for that. Brilliant Pearl and Shining Diamond, or Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, my fault. They're like chibi games. They're like the art styles like really chibi and shit like that. So I feel like that's easier to pull off. And it's going to look good on the Switch. So I'm not a graphic whore anyway, but that shit looks alright to me, man. That shit looks alright to me. More gaming news. What do we got, man? Where my news at? On my phone. I mean, I save a couple articles for y'all to just talk about. Ps5 shortage. I'm trying to get a PS5. I've been trying since January to get a PS5. It's been difficult as hell, as I know it has been for a couple of you guys out there. They're saying it's going to be a shortage all the way into 2022. So they probably aren't going to be hitting store shelves, which I'm waiting on. I'm waiting for them to be in the store so I can physically touch them, pick that shit up. But that might not happen for a long time. So do not count on that. Do not count on that. And then I don't know how true this is, but I'm hearing that there's going to be a PS5 Slim coming out already, because the part that's making the PS5 so hard to manufacture is a semiconductor, I think it is, something like that. And they're trying to make a PS5 that's going to run just as good as the current PS5, but not rely on that component so people can get their hands on it and shit like that. I don't know how I feel about that, man. I don't know how I feel about that. I have like the Series S, which is the weaker version of the X, and I only got that shit to play Halo and Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 when that comes out, because I had a feeling like Bethesda was going to be strictly from here on out an Xbox exclusive. Do I feel the difference between the X and the S? I've never seen the X in person, but I've seen a couple videos. I guess there's like a difference. I really can't tell. I have a 4K monitor, so yeah, I can see 4K images. Halo looks really good and runs really good at whatever frames it runs at. I think it's like 60, maybe might be 120 on certain games. I don't fucking know. I'm not one of them people, man. I play fucking Cyberpunk, all right, on PS4 and beat the game on PS4. The game fucking sucked and glitched and crashed 1,000 times, but I played it on the most unoptimized console ever. So I kind of just want to I think it's like 11 teraflops or whatever PS5. I want the PS5 that's out now. I want the router, so I'm gonna try to get the router soon, so hopefully my streams will be a lot better. Because I refuse to buy a PC. And why I refuse to buy a PC is because, man, I don't do anything cheap, dog. I don't do anything cheap, man. I don't take the cheap road. When I buy something, I make sure I get everything for it. Like when I bought my VR, made sure I bought a case, made sure I bought this, made sure I bought that. Like, I'm going to do it right. You know what I mean? I fly drones. I bought everything for the drone. Everything for the drone. Just so I know I'm doing it right. So where you could go buy that drone for maybe, $500, I probably spent $700. I'm lying on that. I probably spent $600 altogether on just shit for my drone, because I don't do anything cheap. So when it comes to a PC, I don't want a $900 PC or a $1,000 PC, which I heard ain't even that impressive. I want that $1,500, $1,600 PC. And I just refuse to spend that type of money to play the same fucking games I'm going to be playing on my PS4. Part of the reason why I'm not pressed to buy a PS5. Because what games am I going to be playing on my PS5 but the games I'm already playing on my PS4? But I do want the PS5 for just the power. I want the PS5 for the power, man. It would help with my streaming. The quality of my streaming and stuff like that. If you guys don't know, I know I'm jumping all over the place. I recently started streaming on Twitch, and that's like, it's the podcast and then you got Twitch. They kind of go hand in hand with each other. So I'm doing the podcast, I'm doing the Twitch thing. I might do some live podcasts on Twitch. You know what I mean? Just shake things up a little bit. You know what I mean? Have y'all on y'all toes, man. But, please go follow me on Twitch, y'all. Real shit. I'm trying to hit that affiliate. I'm almost at my goal. I'm like a little bit under halfway of my goal. So help me out over there. But that's why I want a PS5, just so I have that power when it comes to streaming. I want that power, man. I need that power, man. Like, it's important. Let's see. What else we got to talk about gaming wise? Oh, they said something about I don't know if you ever heard of the game Time Splitters. Time Splitters is reportedly getting another Time Splitters. I don't know where I read that at. It's probably not good that I'm not citing where I'm getting my facts from or my information from. But I heard that they got a new Time Splitters game coming out. The last one, I think that the last one was like 2005 or some shit like that. But Time Splitters was like this old ass game. It was dumb fun. You invite your friends over, four player split screen co-op back in them good old days, man. Excited for that. Excited. I wanted to get this podcast out too for a reason, because E3's coming out. So please listen to the next podcast, man, because I'm gonna have some co-hosts on there, and that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be the one to listen to. Most of the time, you're gonna hear my voice on this podcast only, But a lot of times I'm going to have a co-host. I'm going to have somebody sitting in here with me. And we just going to be talking about video games and stuff like that. Speaking of E3, I heard Xbox and Bethesda, because Bethesda used to have their own thing at E3. They're going to be, because they're merged now. So they're going to be having their own merged thing at E3. And I think that's going to be, this is what Xbox needs, man. They need to bring the games. They need to bring the fucking games, man. That's what killed them last generation. While I had Horizon to play, Ghost of Tsushima to play, Days Gone to play, Infamous to play. I had Killzone to play. I had all these games to play, Last of Us to play. You know what I mean? What the fuck does Xbox got? Crackdown? Halo 5? Halo 5 is shit too. I just finished that maybe a month or two ago. What y'all got to play over there, man? Y'all ain't got shit to play. Y'all ain't got shit to play, man. Y'all ain't got a goddamn game in y'all name to play. So, hopefully Bethesda brings the fucking games for Xbox. GTA 5, if you give a fuck, all right, it's coming to PS5 and Xbox Series X this November. Again, I'm not citing any of this, and it's bad. It's bad for my brand and what I'm trying to do. But basically, GTA 6 is never coming at this point, all right? GTA 5 is making too much goddamn money. I don't even know the numbers. I should look up the goddamn numbers to tell y'all. But the fact that a game that's been out for 8 years is Skyrim got them beat. But, whatever. The fact that Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming out on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S is fucking insane, dog. It's fucking insane. The online makes them so much money that I cannot see them ever coming out with a GTA 6. Like, why do it? Why do it? Why do that to yourself? You know what I mean? And damn, I got one more piece of gaming news for y'all, and then we're gonna wrap this shit up. Twitch with the hot tub shit. I know I shouldn't talk about this. I'm new on the platform, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna talk about for y'all, man. So if y'all didn't know, they got this new wave of streams going on Twitch, where women, let me take a sip of water for this, man. Women are filling up kiddie pools in their living room, and they're doing these little quote-unquote hot tub streams where they sit in like bikinis and stuff like that, and they just, as much as I don't get it, but it's crazy, man. Like, all they do is they sit there and they write people's names all over their chest and body and arms and stuff like that. People donate money to them to do that. And the one girl I was watching, I'm not gonna give y'all no names because this is fucking, y'all gotta pay me for that type of shit. Unless you a friend, I'm not putting y'all on no names. Only name you gonna hear me say is Couch Combat. Go follow Couch Combat. All right, go follow the boys. You know what I mean? Go follow Blazed Infernal right now. Go follow them too. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's one streamer girl, man. She was sitting there. It was like $50 just to get your name written on it. I'm sitting there like, damn. I almost told my girl, yo, you need to do that. It's money, man. I'll buy you a kiddie pool from Walmart. I mean, that ain't nothing. But they do it in that way because if you remember back in the day, girls used to play the games on Twitch with the cleavage out, titties all out. From what I heard, Twitch has a dress code thing going on. So the workaround on that, right, is you have to be dress code appropriate for what you're doing. So if you're in the house, you can't be butt ass naked. But if you're at the beach, it's okay to wear a bikini at the beach. So what they do is, some of them are in real hot tubs, but a lot of them are just in like kiddie pools in their living room and shit. And it's crazy. Some of them play games, some of them just talk, and yo, man, people are triggered. I ain't gonna talk about it because I don't really care. I ain't gonna stop anybody from getting their money or doing what they do. But like, it's like, damn, man. Wish I could do it. There's been a lot of controversy around that. People think that shit should just stay on OnlyFans, not be on Twitch. But I ain't gonna say nothing about that, man. But they finally eased up on that. There's a whole section for the hot tub shit now. So you're a little horny guy, you know what I mean, who wants to go on Twitch and not watch people play video games or, you know, chat on their little podcasts and stuff like that. You should probably go check that out, man. They got a whole hot tub section. It's fucking crazy, man. It's fucking crazy, man. And that's all the news that I got, man. I don't really have too much news. It's kind of slow right now. With E3 right around the corner, I know in the next podcast we're gonna have so much to talk about, y'all. So please tune in on that next episode of the podcast. That episode is going to be crazy. I'm going to have a couple co-hosts on that. We're just going to go over everything. We're going to wrap this podcast up, man. Make sure you follow me on Twitch at BlazedXinferno. Follow me on YouTube at BlazedInferno. And follow me on Twitter for all updates. Twitter is where I post on Twitter before I post anywhere else. Know what's going on with everything. So go do that. Links are going to be in the description of the podcast video, wherever you're watching this at. And I hope you enjoyed this, man. I hope it wasn't too long. I'm trying to get it somewhere in between like 45 minutes to an hour. I don't want to be talking y'all ear off for hours and hours and hours. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's been a slow week for games, music, and movies. Like I said, I watched Godzilla. I really wasn't feeling it. In music, I already talked about J. Cole and all that. But yeah, man, please come check me out on Twitch, man. Hit that follow button, cause your boy doing this thing over there, and I'm trying to get it in. Like I said, I ain't your boy yet, but I hope to be, man. And you just got done watching the first ever episode of the Infernal Podcast. I'll catch you next time. Thank you for listening, watching, whatever you're doing.